what is it that happens and why do we fall constantly in these low states of doubt, frustration, impotence? Have you ever been in a situation where out of the nowhere you're now feeling stuck or feeling sad or feeling like down or hurt without actually embodying this passion and this flow and this uh, sense of well-being, that you're yourself and you're doing what you love and embodying these high frequencies? Well, I think it's very interesting how we can actually explore this topic and discover more and more and more how to break and interrupt these loops where we're thinking these empowering thoughts and then we're feeling that emotion of those thoughts. And then we can, once we're already like not pushing ourselves into the ground or not being harsh or even cruel to ourselves, how can we then flip the script and turn our reality into a place of comfort, peace, relaxation, abundance, meaning, and experience it, right? Enjoy it. So we're gonna discuss different ways that we do in order for us to actually achieve that, because in our experience, it has been such a tangible thing that happen when we're trying to step into purpose, step into passion, and then we fall into impotence. We didn't want to feel impotence, but then we are experiencing impotence. So I'm very excited for this conversation. I have the awesome life coach, Tina Woodger, with me, and I love having these conversations with her. So, Tina, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me as always. It's such an honor and such a pleasure to be here with you.
I love it. I love it. And how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel excited about diving into this topic because I was literally experiencing this exact feeling today of coming into a state of feeling fearful, feeling down, feeling lost, feeling sad, feeling in despair, not knowing how to move forward in the best way for myself. And it was so interesting because it's really in those moments where we get to remain aware. And by remaining aware and
Mm,
remaining connected with our inner truth, with our love, with our heart, we get to come into these states of being and still ask for guidance or still connect with our heart or still connect with our intuition or still do something that can help us to move forward in the best way. And so for me, it was really okay. So something happened that was really upsetting me. And I cried a lot and I let it all out. And I really felt the pain. I allowed myself to feel the pain and to kind of release whatever wanted to be released through the tears. And then I felt so down and sad and blocked, and I felt like I couldn't create. I was in that kind of state of how can I, yeah, be my creative self right now when I'm feeling like this, right? So I knew that I wanted to change something. I knew that I wanted to be able to come out of this, to be able to come back into my kind of full flourishing self. So I was like, okay, what can I do? And I connected with my inner guidance, with my higher self. And it was just for a very brief moment because I felt so low that I was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna do it for like however long I can. And even just the guidance, it was very brief. It was like, do some yoga and I have trust, have trust. And I was just like, okay, okay, I'll do that. And then so by doing that, by connecting with my inner guidance in that moment, I was able to do something that could benefit me in the moment. And then by doing that, I then had this idea of stepping into a coaching session with somebody where I was being coached and to actually speak about my dream reality as if it's already happened. And I was sharing with you just before the podcast as well how in the beginning of the year I was doing this practice of scripting where you write down your reality like it's already happened. And for me, it was about my relationship with my partner. And so I did that in January, and then I read it a few days ago, and it was as if I had written it now. It was exactly describing my relationship now, and it was so beautiful. I thought, wow, and I'd forgotten completely that I had done that scripting or anything. And then I was just reading this out of the nowhere. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I remember doing that now, actually. And then it's like, wow, how powerful we are, how powerful it can be to even just speak about our reality like it's already happened. And, doing the meditations, doing all of this work, we get to experience the frequencies of what we want to experience in the now, which then pivots our reality towards that potential reality. So I'm wondering what's coming up for you as I share that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that beautiful, loving, miraculous experience. I think it's a miracle, Tina. The fact that we can actually transform our reality, right? Because sometimes we're feeling lost. Sometimes we're feeling like we don't have a clue, we don't have an idea of what to do, where do we want to go, what to, in my case, is like, what do I do with my time? I mean, I have so much willingness and such a fire inside of me wanting to share and wanting to shine and wanting to do things that bring my soul to the planet. And I mean, I'm very excited, and at the same time I'm like, but you don't have a clue of what to do, right? So I think the first thing and what really came to my mind is whenever you are learning something new, that's whenever you're not a master at something, that's when it's likely that you are feeling low, right? If you're already doing something that you're a pro and you know the steps and you know the outcomes and you know what will happen, then it's easier for us to trust, right? But what happens when you're doing something that you're something new? Then it's easy for us to go like, mm, doubt ourselves, to start self-sabotaging ourselves. So that experience that you had where you were feeling like, oh, what is gonna happen? It's probably be something that is gonna represent a threat or something that will disempower my life or my experience. And then you did something that brought your state back up to flow. I think it's about all those little details in my experience. It's about, all right, I'm feeling like crap right now, but I'm still gonna do something that will is probably not gonna be the thing that I needed or the thing that I wanted to do, but it's what I need. It's not what I wanted, but it's what I need now. So allowing yourself to have those 10 minutes of silence in meditation, or to do a yoga practice, or to go to the gym, or to talk to a friend, an empowering friend, those moments that we feel very stuck, allow yourself to do something that will bring your state back up, then you're already transforming your reality back again to where you want it. And from there, I'm sure that in that frequency, you're going to have ideas that will allow you probably not to solve the whole business or the whole problem or the whole thing, but you're going to have an idea of, okay, I'm going to focus on this one thing and I'm going to get this one thing done now, right? So we already step one foot in front of the other. And that for me is the process of magic happening because it is us who are deciding where our life is going. And I think that's the beautiful freedom that we have. And I think it's also very mysterious how we can actually step one feet in front of the other because sometimes we're feeling or we're thinking, okay, this one step will take me closer. But then we end up discovering that this one step was actually me trying to accumulate or trying to, it was not a step actually from love, it was a step from fear, but it uncovered, it was covered in a costume, and then we chose that action, we chose that activity, we chose that person because we thought it was something that we would expand or that would heal our experience or that would emit or that would be something out of love. So having this clarity and intuition, I think we're stepping now into the topic of intuition now, right? Because it is your intuition, the one that tells you what is something for your greater good, for your desired reality, what is something from love, and what is something from fear. The mind is not able to discern what is something for love or from fear, right? The egoic mind is not designed for that. The egoic mind is designed for safety. So it's not actually prioritizing your expansion and your purpose. So what's coming for you?
Yeah, I love this kind of stepping. Well, I love what you were sharing about kind of one step at a time, because I do feel like with this journey of connecting with the intuition and living a life from like the intuition or higher self or love or whatever you want to call it, rather than from the egoic mind or fear or whatever. I really feel like it's almost like the fear-based mind is like, yeah, but I have to know how we're gonna get there, and I have to know the end destination, and how is the whole thing gonna look? And
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
asking all these questions, and then it's really coming back to, well, I actually already have the next step. Because I think we all always have been given the next step to step into on the grander path of where we want to be going or what we want to be stepping into or achieving. So it's like, okay, so we probably have that next step, but then the kind of fearful based mind is like, yeah, but that's not enough because I have to know the overall picture. And then sometimes you don't even do that step because you're just like, well, I don't know the whole thing, so then I'm just gonna not gonna do anything at all. And then it's
Exactly.
kind of coming back to no, 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 just trust. There's this one step that we have to take. We don't know where the destination is, we don't know where it's going, but we do know that this one step is going somewhere, and we know that we know what to do for this next step. And so really having the courage and the trust to be like, I don't know the end result. I don't know the end path. And I will step into this next step and see what happens and see what unfolds. And then every time we do step into the next step is revealed. And that is the most beautiful part, because the more you do it in a conscious way, the more you can trust, because then you actually know, I don't know the end destination, but I know the next step will come. And so I always know I'll have the next step, even though I don't know all the steps to the thing. And then when you were speaking of intuition, I'm just yeah, feeling so passionately about that as well, because it really is something that I've been kind of hearing recently, is lots of different people kind of asking, how do we know the difference between our egoic mind, or whatever we want to call it, fear-based kind of thinking, and our intuition, or that other kind of voice that we have within us that's more based on love or is based on love. And you know, that's something that I've been pondering as well. And then today, in my experience that I had when I was feeling so low for that little amount of time, I really felt like it was so much more of a challenge to hear my intuition and to tap into my inner guidance. And so I'm really feeling like, okay, the best thing that we can do for ourselves to know that we are tapping into our intuition is to allow ourselves to do things that help us relax, that help us feel good, that help us to really let go of those kind of programs that we might have running that are more around kind of the fear-based thinking, and to really come into relaxation, because when we're more relaxed, it's easier to then allow that more subtle, loving voice to come up. And so yeah, doing whatever we can. And even when we're not, like even today, even when I was in that fear-based zone, I still was like, right, I'm gonna go tap into the guidance. And even though usually I'd be able to be in the guidance for way longer, today I was only able to be there for a few moments. But even those few moments, they gave me the next steps. So the next step was do a yoga
Mm.
practice. And then I did a yoga practice. And then from that, I had inspiration to do that coaching session. And then after that coaching session, I completely changed my whole frequency and then manifested this amazing situation that actually I never had to be scared. That fear that came, I stepped into reality where that wasn't even necessary anymore, and I could like fully move forward. So it is really incredible what we can do for ourselves to help strengthen our relationship with that intuition, with that loving inner guidance. And what we can also do, even when we are maybe in a state of fear, to even just set the intention and ask for one thing, one word, one something, and to just follow it and to trust it and to do it. And then what that can lead to is so powerful. So, yeah, that's what was coming up for me.
Mm. Wow, I think that's so valuable, Tina. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's so interesting. It's so interesting. And one thing that was coming to my mind while you were sharing is the power of remaining aware of the present moment. We've heard that so many times, right? But what I'm talking about now is in a different kind of way that we probably understood it before, because it is true that it is always here and now, right? Today, we're gonna call this present moment November 7th, right? But tomorrow, we're gonna call it November 8th, right? So our mind differentiates. Our mind says, well, today is not November 6th, today is November 7th, but it is now, right? Today is now. And tomorrow is going to be now. In the November 8th, yes, it will have the name November 8th, but it will be now. So because our mind has this interpretation of time, of November 6th, I did this. So November 7th, I already did that yesterday. So today I will do something else. So it kind of understands that life is linear, right? But in fact, it is not linear. It is always now. So it is more, if we would say instead of horizontal or vertical, I would choose vertical. Reality is more vertical than horizontal. It's probably not vertical nor horizontal. It's miraculous. I mean, it is always here. Look at the universe. It is so big and mysterious and abundant and magnificent. We can not call vertical, right? But it's miraculous. And what I'm saying is, because of this sensation of time that we have in our mind, we believe that we must follow a formula, right? So because I'm feeling low, then I will have to work on my job or whatever so that I have a salary so that then I can buy a motorcycle or I can buy an Xbox or I can buy a movie ticket or whatever so that then I can enjoy the moment when I have my movie ticket and I'm watching a movie that I like, right? So look at how much separation between today, November 7th, and Friday, when I'm on the movie actually enjoying. So we believe that we are not able to embody the energy that we want today because we don't have the movie ticket. So what I'm saying is in this present moment now, all frequencies are available for you without the movie ticket to be present in your reality. So we can actually start tuning into the frequency that we do enjoy, that we do like, without waiting. And that is also the key whenever we're feeling down. I mean, I can assure you that when we are feeling down, we are interpreting that life in the exterior world is not as we want it to be, right? There's something wrong, or there's something lacking, or there's something somebody did an unfaithful thing, or whatever, right? We're interpreting reality, and because our interpretation is negative, we're having a negative experience in the present moment. So then we are vibrating in a negative or low frequency. And then we feel like going back into a high frequency is going to take a lot of time. But why? What is necessary in order for us to start experiencing high frequency? Well, just allowing yourself, right? So there are different ways, the different permission slips. I knew the word permission was gonna come up again because there are permission slips that we can do, and so that we can think that life is good, that life, the universe has your back, and that you are safe and abundant and loved, right? So I'm curious for you, what are those permission slips that you experience more like, okay, when I do this, I instantly go into a high frequency state?
Yeah, I love that invitation. Thank you. And thank you for everything you said. It was so powerful and beautiful. And what was really coming up for me as you were sharing that was this kind of sense of it really is up to us, even when we are feeling low and we feel like maybe our freedom has been taken away or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
to really do whatever we can to still honor ourselves and our needs. And so that is really the permission. It's even when we're low, and then we might think, oh, I'll do this because, you don't feel good, and then you do something that actually you don't want to do, and you start compromising yourself, and then you just kind of perpetuate that energy. But if you are in that state and you're like, oh no, and then you're like, okay, I'm still gonna do what serves me the most right now. I'm still gonna do that, even if I feel low, even if I feel fearful, no matter
Mm,
what, I can still honor myself. And I don't have to run and do that thing that I think will make me not feel guilty anymore or whatever it may be. I can actually come back to myself and be like, okay, what do I need right now? What is it? I'm just going to do that first, and then I can do the other thing or whatever it may be. And then by the time that you think you have to do that thing, you probably don't even have to do it anymore because you've changed your frequency so much by honoring yourself, by giving yourself permission to do the thing that serves you best in this very moment, which also serves everyone the best as well, if it's coming from the heart. And then it's just really about that, about stepping into that way of being, and to allow ourselves to still be loving with ourselves, still acting from the heart for ourselves and for everyone else, even when we are maybe feeling the sadness or whatever it may be. And then I feel like the love and the heart will always guide us back onto the right path. It doesn't matter however far we might have gotten from the right path, even though all paths are right anyway. But it's like, the heart will always guide us back to us feeling like we're on the right path, right? Sometimes we don't feel like we are, even though we always are. So I
yeah.
feel like it's also really, yeah, coming back to that kind of heart coherence, having the life led by the heart and tapping into that heart energy and allowing that to guide us as well.
Oh, yeah. 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 And it is challenging. I mean, I have been experiencing, especially this year, where I have been building my coaching business. I didn't have a clue of how to do that, right? And I was sharing with you in March in this year, and all these months, March, May, June. I was working on my website, and I was feeling this loud voice in my mind that was yelling, "This is not gonna work." It was very cruel. I mean, I was not telling myself that consciously, but I was listening. I was experiencing, oh my God, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work. And if in that moment I knew I needed to do something because I was feeling bad. And just because you're feeling low, that's a sign that you get to honor yourself by changing your energy. You can take a bath, you can meditate 15 minutes, you can go for a walk, you can call somebody. You can call somebody. I think that's very effective. You can do some exercise, do some push ups, do some squats, whatever. But you have to get out of there, like without thinking that you deserve to stay in that low frequency, because it's awful and you don't deserve that, right? But if in that point I would listen, I would call you, for example, and you would tell me, "Hey, JP, remember you're one with the present moment, brother. Enjoy, enjoy, bro. Don't push yourself very hard. Just enjoy." I would be like, "Oh well, thank you so much for your for your frequent for your tips," right? It's still challenging for us to shift. So I think that it is the choice. It is the choice of, all right, I'm feeling very stuck. I'm feeling very low right now. And understanding, because I feel low, I have the opportunity to work, right? To honor myself, to love myself. I have the opportunity to love myself. Listen to what I'm doing, to what I'm saying. I was interpreting life as miserable experience, but actually is an opportunity for me to grow in love. Is that not what I have been wanting all my life? To grow in love and to experience more expansion and wisdom. Well, I just have a perfect opportunity now, right? So how am I gonna take that opportunity? Well, the one that you like, because we all have different things that we can do in order for us to love ourselves, right? For me, I love playing soccer, so loving myself represents grabbing a soccer ball and start kicking it. So yeah, I love that freedom that we have. And for me, it's all about, all right, okay, I am becoming aware that I'm feeling so low. Now that's a great thing. We don't do that. We say, okay, I'm feeling so low. That's an awful thing. I don't want this. This must go away, right? But the fact that you are triggered and the fact that you are feeling low, it's such a beautiful thing, because then you have the opportunity to love yourself and to grow in acceptance and in love.
Yeah, I love that. Learning through the contrast and using the contrast to come back to love. And I do also really feel that we can, and I really felt it today in my experience, when I was feeling these kind of lower emotions, I really felt like they had a lot of substance. And I was even even as I was in that state, I was like, this can be used for something. Like this
Mm,
has a lot of energy in it. Like there is a lot of energy in these denser emotions, maybe because they're dense. Maybe there's, I don't know, more to like use. There's more fuel in there. And so then we get to use that fuel to create maybe a different life or a different reality or whatever it may be. And so I
mm,
really felt like that's kind of alchemy, right?
yeah,
It's like becoming present with our denser emotions and not wanting to run away from them because we can actually use them. And it's actually
yeah,
beautiful to ex allow ourselves to experience the pain, to allow ourselves to be in those emotions, but not kind of spiral in them. Because it's
mm,
when we spiral that we're then kind of becoming powerless and then we can't kind of shift into an empowered life, right? So it's
yeah,
really about acknowledging them, knowing that they're here, and also asking ourselves, why am I experiencing this? What's the lesson in this? What am I meant to be doing with this experience? What can I learn? And how can I come back to love? through this experience. And when we ask ourselves those questions as we're experiencing it, that I think that's kind of like the first step to then transmute that energy into something else. And, in my case today, it was transmuting the energy to literally step into reality where my cause of my suffering was gone. Like it actually just completely went. And it was meant to be something that was meant to be around for a couple of months or whatever, and then it was just
Mm.
didn't exist anymore. So we
Wow.
can like literally transmute it into coming into a different reality, or it could be something creative. And I was thinking the other day, I also make music, and I was
Mm.
thinking, for me, when I make music, I am going into that pain that's within me. And I'm like, what's that? And then that's what gives the inspiration. That's what gives the energy to pour into something beautiful. And then also when I hear music, I can sometimes hear that pain in the music. I love it. And it's so
Yeah.
beautiful and just like feels so good within you to kind of feel
Mm.
that resonance. So I really loved what you were saying because yeah, that it's so beautiful to kind of go forward in this empowered way, right? So using our painful moments and kind of creating something new with them. That
Mm.
is what we can do.
Wow. Wow, Tina, you're blowing my mind. I think it's so beautiful what you're saying. So, so beautiful. And it has so much wisdom. And I think, yeah, emotion comes from energy in movement, right? In motion. So we're experiencing this dense emotion, and we sometimes make it uh, not without movement. We kind of freeze. I don't know you, but what I experience with fear, I freeze. And it's hard for me to move even my body, and for me to decide to do something else, to go outside, to do exercise. When I'm feeling so afraid, I don't want to move, right? And the healthiest thing that we can do, as you are saying, is actually allow the emotion to be expressed, right? And what a beautiful way to express it, not only in your interior, like feeling it, because it is an expression. When you're allowing yourself to feel the emotion is expressing itself by inviting you, by you knowing, and well, knowing, I mean experiencing it, like smelling it. It even has a smell, the fear, right? It even has a texture. It is inside of us. And not only experience it, I mean, that is already a huge, beautiful action. And that is already a beautiful expression of you becoming aware of the fear. Oh my God, it feels like that. It smells like that. It is feeling here in the chest, or here in the stomach, or probably in the throat, or where is it? Like you becoming very, very aware of that emotion. And also then allowing it to get out, right? To get out. I remember one drawing that I made one day that I only draw the word fear. And I remember right when I finished the drawing, I felt like all the fear released from my body and went into the drawing. So, different ways of expressing your emotions are also so important in order for us to take in consideration, because they are a real tool, right?
Definitely, definitely, definitely. It's so beautiful when we can live a life from that place of understanding what is available to us, even in the pain, and to be able to use it for our highest benefit, and therefore also for the highest benefit of all. So, yeah, I love that.
I think this talk was so beautiful and so, yeah, vast in wisdom. I want to ask you, how would you like to close this conversation?
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like really coming back to the feelings, like what we can feel and and also kind of resting in the potential as well, and 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 being really present with our feelings, and also knowing that we can also call in a new reality by feeling differently within ourselves, and by really allowing ourselves to feel that love, to feel that empowerment, to feel whatever it may be, even if in the outside reality we can't see it yet, and how simply by shifting our inner state, we can shift our outer reality in the most beautiful way.
Mm.
So yeah, just that as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's very mysterious and very mystical because sometimes this conversation has been about transmuting emotions and how you can, instead of feeling fear, feel love and safety and peace and abundance, right? And I have experience indeed sometimes where I'm feeling, oh my God, jealousy, for example, or fear of losing somebody, right? And then I go, okay, I am feeling jealousy because I am imagining that she will probably fall in love with another guy and she will kiss him and she will have sexual relationships with him. So imagine that voice and that theme and that energy in my mind. And then the solution is as simple as to go, oh, okay, that is why I am feeling jealous. Well, I instead choose to believe that she's so in love with me. Nice. I can rest in that idea. And now I'm feeling love. So I didn't have to do a 40, 50-minute meditation practice. I didn't have to do breath work. I didn't have to have a therapy. I didn't have to whatever. I just needed to become aware. Oh, I was jealous because of that. All right, I'm gonna think this instead and experience trust and love. Right? Sometimes it can be as simple as that. The change of frequency. And you can actually do that. And also sometimes it's a little trickier. And for that, you can do different sorts of practices that are also very simple, that are also doesn't require that you discover a new thing or that you analyze all the possible outcomes so that you end up with a perfect solution that is just the right one and you have guarantee that it will not fail, right? So it's a simple thing. All right, you just get to kick a ball, or you just get to work out, or you just get to have a cold shower, or you just get to shower, or you just get to record something or whatever, right? Do something. Do something instead of remaining in that frozen state of fear. Because fear wants to stay. Fear wants to remain alive, right? The egoic mind wants to trick you so that it remains tricking you, so that it remains alive in the reality. So yeah, I love this conversation. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say one final word because as you were sharing that, I felt really inspired to share kind of this self-acceptance, because as you were kind of sharing, when we have these fears and having, this fear of jealousy, and then just seeing it for what it is, holding space for that
Mm,
fear and accepting it and accepting ourselves and not judging ourselves. Because I think so quickly we can either kind of judge ourselves or start judging another. And if we can just be like, oh, I see you, fear, and it's all good. It's all good. I see you. I don't want to change you. I don't want to run away from you. I simply witness you and allow you space to be. And then
yeah.
that's kind of the first step to then transmute it. So yeah, I just wanted to share that as well. And this coming back
Mm,
to, yeah, just radical self-acceptance, just really accepting all parts of ourselves, also the egoic mind, and
yeah.
calling them all in and coming back to wholeness as well.
Oh, beauty! What an important thing to mention. I love it so much. Yeah, because we automatically start judging ourselves, right? Automatically start like, oh, I'm feeling bad, then it's because there's something wrong with me. And this shouldn't be like this, right? I love it so
Mm.
much, Tina. You're completely right.
Mm.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening to us. Thank you for allowing yourself, to accept what you have been believing, to accept your egoic mind, to be present, understanding that you are indeed learning, right? We came to learn, right? We came to practice. So that's why we came. So if we are practicing, if we are learning, if we are feeling low, then we're on the right planet. That's why we came. So that's so beautiful and so freeing also to understand that it is supposed to be hard. It is supposed to hurt. It is supposed to be difficult in a way. See you everybody on the next episode. Bye bye.
Bye.